Hey, what's up, family? I've really been feeling like I'm getting ahead of myself, you know? I'm all about the small improvements that create large changes and large results. And I feel like I didn't lay the foundation for y'all to be great. So that's why we come into this important topic today I have, and it's on the importance of saving. So I'll be expressing my biggest reasons for you to start saving today and 4 ways for you to start doing it. So with that said, hope you enjoy the video and let's get into it. Here are my top 2 reasons for saving. So one, saving develops your self-discipline skills, okay? Money is an inanimate object, but it also controls a lot of people's lives, and they don't understand what to do with it, and they don't know how to make it work for them and do things that it actually wants them to do. A lot of people don't even know where majority of their money goes. So you got to remember that every time you're spending a dollar, like, are you really spending on something you care about, or are you just mindlessly letting it run away from you? It comes down to you asking yourself, how do I expect to control myself and do what I want myself to do if I can't even control money? Money can't do anything without you. Money can't spend itself. Money can't waste itself. Money can't invest itself. It does exactly what you tell it to do. So many people on an everyday basis wake up and have no idea why they're living paycheck to paycheck and why they don't have any understanding on where their money goes and how it disappears. And I would like to call it blacking out. If you know, you know. My second reason for you needing to start saving your money today is money is a tool that will create freedom for you and your family. I feel like money gives you choices and you don't have to run around like a dog chasing his butt trying to, find the next dollar. In my opinion, money isn't the most important thing, but it gives you the option to create your life the way you would like it instead of people making decisions for you or you doing things you don't like just because you have to do things like pay the bills. So instead of you wasting your 20s and 30s, wasting your money, blowing it, and spending it on stupid stuff, you could be investing for your future. So when you get older, you don't need somebody to tell you, oh, you have to come in to work on this day. You can work on your own schedule and you can put things in place to automate your job. So basically, your life is as free as you want and you get to do whatever you want. You get to follow your passion if you really want to. This altogether gives you a peace of mind that can't be achieved from anything else but within. And I really feel like this is something that will add a spice to your life that you never thought possible just by waking up and never having to worry about the bills being paid, you having food on the table, and things like that. It's like being a kid again almost. So with that said, we're going to start with my 4 top ways for you to start investing today. So we're going to start with number 1, and that's going to be create a budget. This is the most important thing because you need to give your money an assignment, okay? As I said before, money is an inanimate object. It can't do anything you won't allow it to do unless somebody has your bank account and they're stealing from you. It's that simple. So when you create your budget, you need to make sure that all your expenses are in there and make sure you add saving into it. Like literally, saving should be the thing at the top of the list and then your expenses come down with it. You shouldn't be having your food budget in there if you don't have any money to save. I don't think saving is a secondary thing. Some wise person told me once that in order for you to be successful, you must always pay yourself first. And I really feel like this is important because who's going to pay you if you don't pay yourself? It's just some small things you have to do to set yourself up in the right way. So once you add up all your expenses, your total will be zero. And majority of people, in my opinion, can't save money just by not doing this one step. A lot of people just don't build the structure around saving money. So they think, oh, I'm just going to do it. But it simply doesn't work like that because if you don't understand how much you have to spend, then you could easily mindlessly say, oh, let me go buy this $100 pair of shoes. Let me go buy these clothes that I don't need. Let me go on this trip I can't really afford, because you didn't tell yourself you can't. It's always that gray area that I really try to break down the most way I can, because as humans, we find a lot of shortcuts and cheats, especially towards ourselves. We cheat ourselves out of a lot of things. So when you remove this gray area of not knowing what you can and can't spend and what is in your budget and what's not, you basically can't achieve anything as long as you stick to the plan. So when going through your budget, you must include things like money that you spend on yourself for your pleasure and your entertainment. And with this budget itself, you might have to create a separate sheet where you break down the expenses themselves, and you go over how much you will have to spend each day. Maybe say on lunch for work, which I don't recommend. Eat at home, make a sandwich, do something in that realm. But if you do, you have to understand how much you will have each day, how often you would be able to go buy these things, and where you would get them from and stuff like that. So I really think that's a secondary part of the budget that you do have to include, because that's one of those things that fill up the gray area, so you can't cheat yourself out of anything. Make sure when you're making this budget, you be really tight with it, honestly. I really think you should look at some of your expenses and ask, is this really what I need? Or is this just what I'm spending because I know I have it in my budget? So I think you cutting back on small things, like maybe taking $50 off your grocery bill. This is a small change that really won't affect you that much, and it could benefit you by saving that extra $50 over the next 12 months, and that being $600 that you have in an emergency fund, or $600 that you have in a investment account somewhere. So second, I'm gonna go hit you with the get rid of debt repayments. Okay, debt repayment is one of those real weird things that we don't notice, because it's like a bill, but it still takes away from our income before we even have it. Like, we literally sometimes make negative income if we were to considerate how much debt we have to pay and how much debt we owe to something. And this is more based on the idea of car loans and things like that, not on the idea of real estate, just because I feel like that's different, because it's a asset that can increase over time, and cars likely won't increase over time, and that's just the simple basic facts over it. But we can go into another topic on real estate and my ideas on that. This is a big thing a lot of people overlook, just because in the short term they seem to be essential things, such as a car or such as a credit card, just for you to pay off a small bill or something like that. But in the long run, it ends up damaging your credit if you don't actually pay them on time. And just the idea of waking up and owing somebody money will put you at less ease, and it will have you in a state of mind where, oh, I have to make sure I'm able to repay this no matter what. Because if you were to have, let's say, a $26,000 car, and you lose your job and you still owe, let's say, 18,000 on it, how will you pay for that? You literally have to be able to come up with that money, and the bill won't stop coming. And on top of that, you have to have insurance for the car, and this could end up adding up to around $600 to $800 a month that you didn't even spend on anything that's necessarily essential. So in my opinion, my advice is to buy things in cash. You could just buy a $3,000 to $4,000 car. Make sure it's good quality. Take a mechanic with you. Make sure you buy something that's worth your actual money, and buy that. So my third way for you to start saving money today is for you to simply live below your means, okay? This is something that a lot of people have a lot of trouble doing, just because in a society that we live in now, where we have a lot of social media outside influence, and we see a lot of people doing nice things. This concept is really simple, and the way I'm gonna break it down is in terms of you just spending less money than you make in a month. So if you were to say you bring in $2,000 a month, then maybe you're only spending 1900. At the worst, I would say 1900. I wouldn't want to have it that tight in my opinion, but that's the worst case scenario. You always want to have a little bit of wiggle room just for you to have money for those emergency costs that you never know might pop up, because life always happens. Many people don't have any money because they find themselves buying things that are flashy, or they just try to do things that impress other people. This applies to the big expenses such as houses, cars, and fancy vacations, or just to the small things like the clothes, the shoes, and just going out to eat simply on the weekends. These things add up over time, and if you don't have a good control over the decisions you make over time, this will lead to more and more negative reactions in your finances. A lot of people must find a way to stay away from the impulse buying and just saying things they like and not really thinking through the process of how much am I spending, what is this going to do for me, and how does this increase my life. And these three pillars will help you make better decisions when it comes to spending money, and it probably will make you less impulsive over the long term if you really develop the skill of breaking down the essentials. So last but not least, we got number 4, and this is really important and something I see a lot of people not doing. But this is simply increasing your income, okay? This is a small step that you really overlook a lot of times, okay? So some ways for you to increase your income would just be simply applying to a new job or starting a side hustle that would cover some of your monthly bills, like maybe a light bill or something small. Just taking those little expenses off the top, and this will all go back into money that will go over to your savings account. A small raise to $1,000 to $5,000 will add to extra money in your account every single month. If you would just spend a week to a month just applying for new jobs that actually pay you more money and maybe give you more freedom with your time, so you're not working as much and you can do things like start the side hustle, and you can increase your income back at your job at the exact same time. And this is some things we have to step back and look. Are we really being the most efficient with our time? Is our job really the best opportunity for us? Now this comes into a different realm when you start thinking about, is this the job I actually want to be in? Because your happiness is most important at the end of the day. I really don't feel like you should ever sacrifice money for happiness unless you have a plan for you to duck your head down and take this work that you don't want to do and use that to create a better future in the long run. So this is something maybe you could deal with for 1 or 2 years and just grind it out. And if you're willing to do that, then you can have the next 40 to 50 years of your life just sitting free, looking nice. Also, I know with starting a side hustle, you probably won't make that much money to start with, if any money, and that's just the simple fact of it. But this isn't really a race to get to the most money. It's a long-term thing. So you really start small by just trying to make enough every month just to maybe pay for your gas, just to maybe pay for one of your bills, and maybe take off some money for your groceries and just for you to have your entertainment or something like that. And if you are really trying to make the most optimization out of the resources you have, I would suggest you using the side hustle money to reinvest back into your side hustle to therefore make it even bigger and scale it even faster. So that's something you have to think about when you're doing this. The trick to this, and you gotta pay close attention. I want you to listen real good, like real hard. Make sure you just get as close to the phone as you can. I'm gonna say it loud for you, okay? I got you. I got you. When you make this extra money on top of your regular income, don't spend the money that you didn't make before you got the raise, okay? Don't increase your spending just because your income increased. And this will literally put you on a path to saving twice to 3 times as much money every single month if you just literally don't inflate your lifestyle. Just act like you never got the increase in money, and therefore you can make this your overhead and put this automatically into a savings account without you even noticing it was ever there. So to sum up this video, my top 4 ways to you start saving your money is to number one, create a budget and make sure your budget is a zero-sum budget that includes every single thing, including the money you plan on saving, and make sure you always pay yourself first. Number 2, get rid of all debt repayments. And this does not include things like a home mortgage. This is something that is completely separate. And don't forget, if you want to hear more on this topic from me and my opinion on it, then put that down below. Third, you must learn how to live below your means and save more money and less. Third, you must live below your means and learn how to spend less money than you actually bring in on a monthly basis. And it sounds so simple and so straight to the point, but so many people don't do it. Fourth, try to increase your income and knock some of those expenses off, so therefore you have more to save on the back end when you start putting this money on top of the money you already have. And with that said, thanks for watching. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making these videos for y'all. And I would really appreciate it if you like the video right now, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below some video topics that you really would hear from me, and I promise you I will make them. And if y'all want me to speed up on the uploads, just let me know, because I know once a week you probably be missing me, so you gotta let me know. So I'm gonna catch y'all next week. Keep making your life better one day at a time.